Hey folks, by now you've most likely heard that Beretta has released an M9A3 and it is a sweet pistol. This is the box it came in and pretty well done as far as marketing. I think it's a nice looking box. This here is the box that the gun actually comes in, and this is the box that has caught everybody's eye. It's a great marketing idea. It's an ammo can. It says Beretta M9A3 on the bottom. Black handle, black lock. It's a great idea. And it's very convenient to take to the range. Open it up. This is how it ships. I have the pamphlets and manual right here. This is the grip, the wraparound grip. Lock has a little Beretta on there. And there are 3 magazines. 2 of them are here. One of them ships in the pistol. These magazines right here are a new and improved. They put a coating on here that repels sand. Sand doesn't stick to it. And it also now holds 17 rounds. One story real quick. There's been in Afghanistan and Iraq, there were issues with the magazine, with the M9, and those magazines actually were not from Beretta. Beretta actually uses Mekgar magazines, which if you're not familiar with are some of the best magazines on the market, if not the best magazines on the market. And the government stopped using those magazines and bought from a cheap supplier. The magazines were selling for probably like a quarter of a price. So to save them a buck on a magazine, people were having jams with guns. I don't know if it led to any deaths or anything like that, but just so you know, those were not Beretta magazines. And here's the handgun. It I like how it stores in this ammo can. Pretty cool. So let's ditch the ammo can and start talking about the gun. This is an outstanding gun. I absolutely love it. Now the MSRP on it's a little high, comes in at $1,099, so it's not cheap. The street price on that, I'm guessing, will probably be in the 900s, which is still more than an M9. Is it worth it? To me, yes. I already own a 92 FS, and I will definitely buy this. In fact, my name is on the list to buy one. I have to ship this one back. It's a demo. Local Beretta guy loaned it to me, Beretta dealer. He needs it back in about a week from today, so I'm gonna have to give it back to him. Unfortunately, I would love to keep it, but like I said, he did put me on the list, so I do have one coming. So would I pay $1,100 for this? Yes. Oh, that's an affirmative. I would definitely pay that for this. To me, it's worth it. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on me and kind of a disclaimer. I am a huge fan of the M9. I always have been. I carried one. My TO weapon in the Marine Corps was a M249 saw, and we were issued M9s to go with them. So from Lance Corporal on, from approximately my 2nd year in the Marine Corps, up until the day I got out, I qualified with an M9, and I carried one in Somalia. I carried one wherever I went, and I'm a big fan of it. I never had failure. I don't recall ever, even on a range, having a malfunction. And I've shot thousands around through these. I usually shot expert, not always. For example, my very last qualification I did in the Marine Corps, before I went to a joint command, was in a really bad storm. I qualified pistol and handgun, and if I remember correct, I believe I was a 5th award pistol and a 8th award rifle, and I ended up shooting pizza box on both of them. Terrible day. We had the wind, it was blowing sideways. It was terrible, but I had to qual on that day because I left for the joint command like the next week, and if I didn't qualify then, I wouldn't be able to qualify for 3 years. So I went ahead and did it, and it kind of sucked. But other than that, I've always qualified expert. So I've never had any issue on accuracy. I know how to shoot. I've never had any issues with marksmanship, with malfunctions. It's always been reliable for me, and for me, it's been a pleasure. So I just want to state that now. I'm an M9 fan. Still to this day, I consider it my all-time favorite pistol, and I say that I do have a couple other guns that I prefer now, and I call them my fighting guns, my go-to guns. I prefer those because, for one thing, this is just gargantuan. There's no way you can carry this as a civilian. I mean, you can, but it's big and it's heavy and it's a lot of work. So there are other options that I choose, and I've kind of also drifted towards striker-fired guns. But more important to me than just the fact of striker fired versus non-striker fired, or versus hammer, I don't like guns with a manual safety anymore. I stay away from those. Now there is an option, of course, Berettas do ship. There is a Beretta 92G option, which just has a decocker, not a safety. Problem is that's got a really heavy trigger pull for that first round, and it's uneven. The first round is going to be super heavy. Everything after that is going to be nice and light. So those are a little bit tougher to shoot. So for me, I probably would not carry this. However, as I said, it's still my all-time favorite. It's my sentimental favorite. Still a big fan of the M9. One of the first things that people notice about this is the straight grip right there. It is a Vertec grip. So it's not new. It's actually taken from the Beretta 92 Vertec edition. And it's a straight grip, so it allows people with smaller hands, better control, better access to the controls. I have pretty big hands for my size, so I've never had a big issue with the grip on the Beretta 92. As you can see right here, my thumb does come to the slide stop, so I can pretty much access everything I need to. But with this, it allows me to reach it even better. My hand, I can reach it. In fact, my finger almost covers up half of the slide release. So I can grip that pretty good. With this, all of the complaints about smaller statured military members not being able to grab it and access that and have a comfortable grip pretty much goes to the wayside. It's got excellent texture, it's got excellent purchase. I like these grip panels. Something else they did, these grip panels are actually a little bit thinner than the standard grip panels on an M9. So even the width on it is a little bit narrower. Here is the wraparound grip panel that it comes with. This is actually made by Hogue, and it's outstanding. The purchase on this, the texture, it's got a little bit of a rubbery feel to it. This is a little bit harder, not as rubbery. This feels a little bit more rubbery. Really sticks to your hand when you're shooting it. It's outstanding. I like it. Extremely comfortable. The back strap on this is straight. The texturing, this is straight. On this, they went, it's like straight, but then they put some aggressive side checkering on it, and they did the same thing with the back. And really good texturing. You get good control on it. This is the A3 with the back strap, the wraparound back strap attached. As I said before, this is made by Hogue, and this is extremely comfortable. As much as I like the straight grip for the angle that it gives me and the comfort of it, I'm kind of torn because I really love this too. I have fired few guns that are more comfortable to shoot than this one with this wraparound grip on here. Now this wraparound grip is designed to give it the same essential grip as the standard M9 and the 92 FS. It's going to have a very similar feel. The way your palm rides on it is going to be very similar. And for those who actually like the grip of an M9, this right here, you're going to like this. It's welcome. It'll give you the same feel. But this Hogue on here is like 100 times better than a conventional M9 grip. One of the other things that people notice right away is the threading. And the cool thing is you can have that extended barrel and it doesn't stick out that much more than a standard M9 barrel. So it's kind of keeping with the same look. But the threading, it's a 1/2x28 XL, which is what they used in the other Beretta barrels, 9mm barrels. One of the other upgrades that I'm a big fan of is on the original M9, the front sight is machined in, but on this one, it is removable. So you can change sights, change it to aftermarket sights. Now, why you'd want to, I don't know, because this thing here comes with some outstanding sights. It's Trijicon night sights, and I absolutely love them. They are outstanding. It's 3-dot, and you can't ask for much more than that in stock sights. And if the military were to issue this, I think that's just, I mean, that's so much better than the sights we had on there. It's just incredible. Another feature, the safety on this, when it's in the fire position, is at a plus 10 degree position, whereas this one here is at a straight forward position. And it also has a beveled magazine well. The old one did not. A little bit easier to stick your magazine in there. And of course it has the accessory rail. The Beretta M9A3, which is what the US Marines has adopted and is their sidearm now, just has one notch in their accessory rail. This one here's got 3. Something else, or a couple other things. This M9A3 is also, you can buy an aftermarket kit to make this into a G model if you want. And it actually comes in different models. There's this one and the G model, and then of course it comes in the 10 round model. But the G model and this model, both of them you can swap out and use either. So if you purchase this, you can use the G model, and the G model, in case you don't know, that's a decocker only. And I really like that option. If I were to carry this, I would want that. There's also a trigger upgrade kit that you can buy, a little bit shorter pull and a little bit lighter. This trigger that's on here now is a really good trigger, and let me pull up. I weighed it, and this one right here in double is 8 pounds 10 ounces, which is 2 pounds lighter than the 92FS or /M9, and I'm going to use those interchangeably in this video. On single action, it is 4 pounds and 8.8 ounces, which is a full pound lighter. A lot of 1911 fans don't like this trigger, but for, I guess you gotta take it off safe. But for military work, I think this is an outstanding trigger. I like it. It's crisp. It's got a good break to it, and it also has a pretty good reset. Now with accuracy, and some people that complain about accuracy, and I think where the accuracy problem comes in is where people are shooting the M9 in the military, and it's been in existence. You know, this particular M9 that they're issued has probably been in the armory for 20, 25 years. Might have been one that I shot back in 1993 or something like that, 1998. And it's got a wobble to it, and the accuracy ain't that great. When I was in, the M9s I had, the machining on them was great. There was no wobble. I mean, they were finely put together. I mean, it was excellent. Almost like this one here. I mean, there was no play. Really good. Talking to the Beretta rep, all of these M9s, the M9A3s rolling off the market, they're all test fired at 25 yards, and any of them that group larger than 4 inches are sent back. They are thrown out, or not thrown out, but I don't know what they do with them. I don't know if they remake them, if they refurb them. I have no idea. But the military doesn't get those models. And with this, the A3, this is one of the requirements of the military. What Beretta wanted to do is make this a COTS pistol. So this one here, this A3 that the military is getting, is going to be the exact same one that civilians get. There might be a few different markers. There's going to be probably an NSN number or whatever the military is going to put on there. But other than that, it's the same exact thing. So this one, I'm thinking if they get one that's, you know, doesn't group 4 inches or below, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but it's not going to be on the civilian shelves either. I didn't get a chance to put tons of ammo through this like I would have liked. I fired 300 rounds through it, and I didn't have any malfunctions. It performed perfectly, even with a suppressor. And I put a sight on there. I have a Railmaster Pro from CTC. I put that on there, which that one, in case you're not familiar with it, that one's a little bit bigger than their other ones. It's built extremely rugged. It's metal. And that one, putting it on there, no issues at all with the cycling. Didn't throw it off at all. Suppressor, everything cycled perfectly, worked wonderfully. Here it is dressed up with a suppressor. This is a Silencer Co. Osprey. And this is really, really one good looking pistol right here. I mean, it's just beautiful. This is what I did my target shot with. I didn't get the best groups. They were okay. It was 12 yards. White box right here. So my first 3 shots did pretty well, and then kind of dropped the last 2 And this one here started off a little bit low. This one here, I actually, my center mass, this one here I'd shot off a rest, and the center mass was low, but you see the target was pretty tight, or the group was pretty tight. Got kind of happy and shot a 6 round there, but decent group, 12 yards. I will, once I get the one that I purchase, I will have more time for testing, and I would like to take it back to 25 yards, see how it does. The technical data on it, it is a single slash double action. Barrel length is 4.9 inches, and I actually, for me, when I measured this, it's a little bit longer. If I remember off the top of my head, I think it was 5.3 inches or something like that. And I did not include the feed ramp. The grip width is 1.3 inches. Magazine holds 17 rounds, unless you live in a state where you can't have 17, then it comes in 10. The overall height is 5.4 inches. Overall length is 8.5 inches. Width is 1.5 inches. Sight radius, 6.1 inches. The weight unloaded is 33.9 ounces. So it's not a light gun. Disassembly on this is going to be the same as any other standard M9. One of the things I wish, if they were upgraded, I wish they would have had a captured spring. They actually have, they just released, a lot of people haven't seen this, but they released a 22 version of this on the market, and that actually has a captured spring. I would have loved to have seen a captured spring on this. Here, and remember I said this is really dirty, but here's the barrel, and you see it is longer. Here is the slide. Not a whole lot of difference. Biggest difference being the front sight and the angle of the safety when it's in the unsafe position, the fire position. Here's the magazines. 2 rounds have been added and a different finish. Now this is one of the original Beretta magazines and made in Italy. So this is a good magazine, not one of the cheap knockoffs that the government start giving our military members overseas. And then here is the lower, the frame, difference in grip. And one of the big differences you'll notice with the accessory rail, there's like a double wall here that is not on this one. And a few other little differences, not a whole lot. The front of the trigger guard, the old one, it has texture here. This one is smooth. From the first moment I saw this pistol, my first thought was, wow, that is a sexy pistol. And you know, the lines of the M9/92FS, I've always liked those lines. I think they're nice. They kind of stand out from other handguns on the market. And this A3, I think, especially with the FDE, I love FDE, and I think it's just beautiful. This is just a nice looking pistol. It stands out from pretty much everything else that's being put on the market now. Everything's kind of become boxy and kind of nondescript, kind of generic looking, but not this. This is nice right here. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. Semper Fi, and God bless.